Hi Crafty creators! Welcome back to Flosstube! As always, you guys are such genuine gems for joining me today. A big welcome back to my returning subscribers and viewers. You guys absolutely make my day and warm my tiny little heart every time you drop a cheeky like or leave a little comment downstairs so that we can go and have a chat. It really is one of my favorite things. I love hearing from you guys so much. And of course, a huge hi, hello, how are you to everyone that might be new and have just found us. I'm so glad that you're here. I hope you like what you've seen so far and you found a reason to stay and hang out. My name is Miss Chloe, and this is my little corner of the internet where I get to share my cross-stitching journey with you guys. Today it is a normal update kind of day. It's been 2 weeks since I saw you guys last, so I have been stitching my little heart out. I have been trying to keep up and hit all of those goals. Did I hit all the goals? No. Did I hit 2 of them? Yes. Very happy with that. Manageable goals. Everything is good. Everything's good. So I've worked on about 5 projects. I have a finish. I have a new start. I have a sal update. And I've got 2 whips that you've seen before. So I've got lots of things to share with you this fortnight. Lots and lots of things. I think we should jump straight into it and get into our sal update. So the very first thing I have on top of my pile is the study of skulls. This is from the Stitch Crib. This is a live stitch along, so she is currently still happening. And I am stitching her 1/1 on 32 count even weave from Crafty. The fabric is called Poseidon and mine is of course opalescent because what's life without a little glitter? Here's your close-up, you guys. I hope you get to see. So where we're looking right now, I am almost caught up. So I did manage to catch up before the latest release came out. The latest release is that little tiny hanging skull there. And it is actually a cross stitch of a cross stitch. So over at the Stitch Crib, they decided that we could put our stitching into our stitching and stitch while you stitch. It's very yo dog. It's very like early 2000s meme territory. I love it. I love it. I am really enjoying this one. At the moment, there is no back stitch, which is really lovely for me, especially being on such a tiny count. And it's all just coming out so perfect. So everything is obviously in miniature because we're doing a small count, but it's about as big as this needle minder that I've got from Ginger Stitch, which just says familiar. It has a little cat paw. It felt witchy and like it should go with this, so I rolled with it. I am really enjoying it. So last time you saw it, I think we had most of the front facing skull done, but not all of it. We didn't have the books done, the plant on the end was not done, the cat skull at the top was missing, and so was our vase of flowers. And then of course since then we got a little snake plant to put in, and then we got another release which is this little hanging cross stitch piece to go on our cross stitch. So I really loved getting into this one so far. Going over 1 on 32 count opalescent has been a tad rough on you girl, but I think I'm getting used to it now. So I've obviously done a lot of work with this one lately to try and catch it back up and be part of the group and post everywhere and be all the things. So I'm working really hard to do that, and I am actually really loving it. I think it's turning out to be really delicate and really sweet, and I'm just having a great time with it. This has been my companion for almost all of the movies this month for fandom, which is no small feat. There are a lot of movies for October that we had to get through, but I managed to squeak it in. I think I used 3 of the projects when I caught up and I was waiting for things to come out. But for the bulk of movies, this was my choice because it was spooky, it was Halloweeny, and it just made my little heart happy. So we worked on that one. At the moment, I am of course working on the latest release. By the time I see you guys, I think we're gonna have another one. So I think we get this little box here. We'll see how we go. It's gotta be low because our plants hang down pretty far into the square. So I'm not sure how that one's gonna work out for us, but I can't wait to see what they're going to give us. That one should come out probably while I'm editing. So stitching it will have to be my editing reward. To move forwards with this one, I would just like to keep up. The releases aren't huge. like there's a good number of stitches, maybe 900-ish, or at least ish for this one. But I think I can do it, so I would just like to keep up. So my aim for when I next see you guys in 2 weeks time is to be completely caught up and not like 3/4 of the way through one of the pieces. I did try and get it stitched before I came to see you guys, and it was just too hectic. Everything has been on top of me and there's been so much work going on that I didn't quite get there, but I got close and I'm really happy with that. Really happy with that. Okay, next up, I'm gonna show you guys the Afghan. As you know, this is gonna be my rainy day project for next year, so every time it rains, I'm gonna put stitches in on it. I haven't decided a number yet, so if you guys do a snow day project, a rainy day project, something like that, and you have a number of stitches that you like to use for that day, can you please drop it downstairs like it's hot and let me know so that I have a benchmark to work with. I'm thinking like 300 to 500 maybe, but I don't know if that's too ambitious for every day that it rains, but we'll see. But you guys, I got some work done on our little beaver. It didn't rain. This work was just calling to me, so I picked her up. This is the Forest Friends Afghan, affectionately in my house termed as Angela's Afghan, because I am doing this one on behalf of my friend Angela. So of course, here's your close-up. Here's what she looks like at the moment. I have put in a lot of the shading on our beaver in the last 2 weeks. I think I did a solid 2 days worth of progress on it, and then I just popped it down again for a little while so I could scratch that itch and get in there and get some progress on her. I'm really loving how it's turning out. I think I'm finally getting used to the fabric. The fabric was a little bit odd because it's not like a normal Aida. It's sort of fluffy. I think she's an 18 count, but I'm not 100% sure. I did inherit this one. The pattern itself is from Stony Creek, and it is from the 1994 magazine. So this was a year-long sale that they did, I believe. And I've got all of the magazines thanks to Angela, so I'm quietly gonna go through them and get myself going. So I have photocopied this one out because pinning an entire magazine to your work, girl, how did I used to do that? Who was she? Who was she? That girl that was like, yeah, paper patterns are wonderful. I love paper patterns. I am struggling. I am struggling. How did I used to mount them? I don't know. But I'm doing my best now. So the photocopy seems to be working better for me because I can actually pin that to the work. Hot tip, if you photocopy something, obviously put an extra piece of blank paper underneath it before pinning it on top of white fabric, because you don't want your highlighters to bleed. Didn't happen on this project, but the flashbacks to an early project with naive baby Chloe going, I'll just use it, it's fine. Crosses out lines, thinks really good, done some hours work, think it's great, take off the paper, and there it is, green highlighter all over your fabric. Always use a second piece of paper if you are a paper pattern person. Or better yet, put it on a hard surface and don't have it on top of your work like me. But if you do work like me, that's my tip, 2 pieces of paper. But as you can see, we've got most of the beaver done now. So he is gonna look like this. He's really sweet, really sweet. So I'm hoping to put in some more of the flowers down the bottom because they're bright colors, they're a lot of fun. But I would like to get another round of shading done in him as well before I move to the flowers, just to break it up a bit because there is a lot of brown and gray. And I believe there's some tweeding in here as well, which is where you have 2 colors of floss in together. So mixed threads or tweeding, which should be really interesting to see how that comes out and how I can make it lay. I think I will have to railroad that one. For anyone that's a new stitcher, railroading of course is where you get the threads to lay flat by putting your needle back through them before you go down, so everything lies really smoothly and you don't get any twisting. I do not railroad for everything. That's a lot of effort and your girl is a low effort human. But it can be quite good for mixed colors or skin or really light colors. I find it really just helps it out, just that little bit. So yeah, next time I see you, hopefully I will get a tiny bit more on this one. We'll see if it calls to me or if it's just gonna wait for the rain to come through. And you guys, of course, will have to help me, please, work out how many stitches I'm supposed to do on this one in a session. So I look forward to hearing from you on that one because I suck at decisions. I just don't know. And I've never had a rainy day project before, so I think this will be a lot of fun to get going and see what kind of growth we can get through all of the rainstorms for next year. The next piece I have to share with you is one that I've got quite a bit of progress on. I'm so stoked with this. You guys, it's the scary sampler! Here's your close-up because she is itty bitty. This one is 1/1 on a 28 count even weave from Zweigart. And I absolutely love her. I think this is actually my new favorite count and way to use it. So I'm looking at maybe updating my fabric subscription to be a 28 count so that I can just over one things and have this really fun little size. It's not too hard on the eyes. I don't need a strong light for this one, which is really nice. If you guys came back last time I had her out, I said, you've got to bug me to finish those flowers. You guys, I did it. I did it all by my own. I did it all by my own. The flowers are done. So all of the orange is in them, all of the red is in them, all of the green is in them. I do need to go back and put in the little off-white or cream dots that go all the way around each of the flower heads. But for the most part, she is done. So I have started working on the house. As you can see, I've got the first color of the roof in, the brown, and I've started my way down the side of the house with all of our bricks. So I've gotten quite a chunk of progress on her. I'm really, really happy with how it's looking. Really happy. I can't wait to get back to this one. I am hoping to make this more of a focus piece in my next month. Again, I work on projects based on whether or not they are calling to me and whether or not I'm feeling them. So this one at the moment I'm getting a really strong pull towards, and I think it's just because the fabric is so lovely to work on. It's just such a joy. Like I said, the over one was a little bit odd to get into, but now that I'm used to it and I know where my tension should sit, it's actually feeling really, really natural, really normal, and I am struggling to go back to bigger counts. I just really like how delicately everything comes out once you do it. It's very demure, it's very petite, it's very cute. I love it so much. I cannot wait to get more done on this. At this point, I would just like to get some more of the bricks in on the house over here so that I can sort of build up around all the window frames and door frames so that I can go in and do those. This piece is from Heartstring Samplery and it has a limited color palette. So what you see on there at the moment is pretty much every color has been used at least once. So it is a very small palette. I am doing mine in DMC. If you want to see what this looks like in the fancy threads that are called for, go visit my friend Liz. She's also doing this one. Hers is being done in all of the called for fancy floss, and I'm just using the conversion. My friend Amy is also using the conversion on this one. But Amy has said that she has gone through and made some changes, so hers is going to have a little more variation in it, and I'm thinking I should do the same. I do love the color palette. I think it's really gorgeous and it's really nicely put together. However, I would like a little bit more depth and variety in the piece. So I'm thinking instead of, there's a dark green that goes around the windows and doors and stuff like that, that I will use a different color possibly so that it doesn't just blend into the grass at the bottom and it can really stand out. I think this will be a good piece to play with for me and just sort of get the idea of changing colors over and checking that the saturation is right and all of that sort of stuff so that the piece can meld together really nicely as if it was designed that way. Next up, I'm going to share my finish with you. I am so excited about this one, you guys. Look at him, he's done. He's on a million miles of fabric because it was just easier for me to cut the depth rather than the width. But it's done. Here we have Disw World Terry Pratchett book collection by Eclectic Designs. I am so stoked. So this one has come out really lovely and I hope you're enjoying your close-up. I hope you're enjoying it. So we have every single title of every Disw World book that has been released by the wonderful Sir Terry Pratchett. And I went through and obviously finished those off, but I also did all of our backstitching since you guys last saw me. So I have backstitched just normally. I haven't used couching that I normally use. And the reason for that is that I have just used normal backstitch to write all of the titles. So I wanted them to have the same sort of depth and feeling and look. So I've just used a normal backstitching method for this one. And I'm really stoked with how it came out. I think it looks fantastic. I'm so happy. So of course the great Atuan, who is our world carrying turtle, he is fully outlined. He's no longer just a green blob in space. And we've got his elephants. I think they're looking great. And of course our tiny little Disc World with its hub peak in the middle there. You can be sure the members of the Unseen University would be pretty pleased with it. I think they'd like it. I think the boys would be happy. I think the biggest compliment I could get on this is the one that my dad gave me when I sent it through. He just sent through one word, and it was ook. If you've read the books, you'll understand what that means. You'll understand. But it is one of my favorite characters that says it, and it is such a huge compliment coming from him, because he is like my very own librarian. He's just not a monkey. I'm so happy with how it came out. I can't wait to frame it. I don't know if I'm going to use a white frame or a black frame. I am thinking a black frame with some matting would look really cute. So I'm gonna have to work out how to do that in my own house, and then I can pop it up in my bookshelf and it will be part of the collection. Since I last saw you, there were no other changes that I fed back to our wonderful designer over at Eclectic Design. She was really good. She did make the changes that I suggested earlier and worked with me to make things be really readable and visible and sort of book accurate. So that's very exciting. And something that I found really cool, a lot of you guys have reached out and said that you haven't read these works, and seeing this stitch, you're going to read some. So my quick recommendations for places to start Disc World, of course, are The Color of Magic. You can't go wrong with the first book in the series. It's a classic. And then I really love the Death series. So I also recommend Mort. They were the first two books I read. We didn't have Light Fantastic when I was little. So I had The Color of Magic, then I had Mort, then I got the Light Fantastic, which is book number 2. So I went 1, 4, 2 instead of 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I started reading them in order after that as I got a little bit older. But I do really enjoy this series. It's a wonderful one just to turn your brain off to and read and let the world sort of build itself around you. It's full of magic and silliness. It's just fun. I love it so much. So much. So if you do pick up one of the books, definitely reach out, let me know. If you do already read the books, please let me know who your favorite is. This piece is fully done now. So because it's been test stitched and approved, it is fully available on the Eclectic Designs Etsy page. So do go over there, give her some love. If you are after this piece, I know a fair few of you have contacted me to find out where it's from, and I can now tell you where to get it because it's done. It's done and it's correct. So we're very happy with that. Very happy with that. This is just on an 18 count white Zweigart Ada, and I have stitched it 2/1, so 2 threads over each square. The last thing I have to share with you today is a brand new start. It is of course a stitch along because I have a problem, and it is one that I am doing with so many of you guys. I'm so keen. So this is Books of Magic from Counting Puddles. I'm stitching this one 2/2 on a 32 count even weave opalescent from Bestitch Me. This one is called Cosmos. So it has a lot of dark spots in it, a lot of little bits of purple and blue, and it's very sparkly, very sparkly. And I am really loving this one. I am just over 30% done because I became obsessed. So of course I just had to keep stitching it. She keeps calling to me. And this piece is one that was picked by my friend Liz. We have started this for her birthday stitch along for the month of November. So if you have a book whip, you are welcome to join in. Check her Instagram page for all the information. And I am stitching this one with a crew of people. It's insane. Okay, so much fun to see. Everyone is stitching it a little bit differently. Everyone has started in a different place, and of course we all have different fabric, and it's just been really cool to get these little notifications in my feed that you guys have tagged me and I get to see what you're doing with it. So I have started down the bottom, and I started with the book that says Magic right at the base. My friends have started in the middle or right at the top with the crazy backstitch stars and moons. Everything is so pretty on this piece, you guys. I'm so excited. I haven't done a Counting Puddles piece before. This is actually the first I heard of them. So I am fairly keen to get this one going. As you can see, being at 30% after like 4 days of working on it, definitely the one I want to be with. definitely. Adjusting back to going over 2, I'm gonna level with you guys. It's weird and I don't like it anymore. It's weird. It's weird to start going over 2. My brain keeps wanting to count in the 1 because of course we've been doing the 1 for so long now. But I do love how it's coming out. It's just such a good size. It's really, really smooth. This is gonna look fantastic mounted on the door of my library, I think. So I'm hoping to do that with it. And this fabric has just been so much fun. Is it the easiest thing to work on in the world? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's dark. I know this looks really blue on camera. I'm getting great sunlight today. Most of it's navy. All under here, navy. No blue. No blue. She was harsh. She was harsh. Doing a dark opalescent with a tight weave, they were choices. They were not the best choices, but when I look at it, it's kind of great. So I started this one on Sunday last week, and I took it to Stitching Group with me, and I filled out most of the pink on the very bottom of the book. So the book has 3 pinks on it at the bottom, and I did that sort of middle colored one, the light pink. And I think it's coming out really, really well. I absolutely love this. As I said, I'm a little bit obsessed. I would like in the next 2 weeks to get all of this filled in so it's nice and solid. So we've got all of the main stitching done for the bottom third. And then I would like to start the midsection, which is up here. So we've got some more books on top, and open books and flowers and some little moths that come out of them. I did start one of them. He's very sweet. He's very sweet. And then I need to work out what I'm doing with the back stitching. I haven't quite decided yet if I am going to go with the called for DMC or if I'm going to switch it up. I know my friend Mel has switched hers up, and she has started using Petite Treasure braid so that hers is super duper sparkly and really, really pretty. If you are interested in checking out everyone that's in the sal, head to my Instagram page, click on a picture of this, and in the caption I have actually tagged every single one of the sal buddies for this piece so far. So I'm saying so far because I'm sure that there will be other people on this list that I have not heard from yet. So I will add you if you message me. But so many of us are doing this, and I've tagged every single person so that each time someone looks at my work, they can go, oh, I wonder where Jen's up to, or Liz is up to, or Jess, or Cora, and see exactly what everyone's done by going to their Instagram page. So everyone is there, everyone is tagged, and I think it's just been a really fun little community thing to have like all of these people working on this one project, but tagging each other so that we can see each other's progress, and we get just that little excited dopamine hit when it goes, bink, Liz has tagged you, Mel has tagged you, Cass has tagged you, and it's just, oh yes, I need to see what they've done. I get so excited. I love seeing how different everyone's looks on the different colored fabric and with different starting spots. And I'm really, really excited to get this one going. So I will definitely be working on this one in the next 2 weeks. And then I will be able to show you some decent progress, hopefully. Alrighty, that's everything I've done in the last 2 weeks. So I will now just quickly debrief you on plans, because of course we'll have plans. It is November, it's a new month, so we're gonna get new movies for fandom. So I'm hoping to watch 2 to 3 of those a week and just sort of try and keep up with it. I struggled a little bit with October because we had a TV show that we had to watch, and it was very hard to get the thing to upload correctly. Mine did not like it, so I ended up having to just apologize to our markers. Sorry again if you're watching this. Love your work though. Because it wouldn't allow me to nest the comments any longer, so I had to actually post them on the bottom of my thread instead of underneath the TV show. Not ideal, but it was okay, it worked. It was fine. So I'm hoping to get that done. I'm hoping to fit in monthlies. I didn't quite get there with October's monthlies. I think I was missing 4 in the end, but I did pretty well, so I was happy with what I got. So this month I'm hoping to focus up a little bit more and get that done along with our weekly prompts. I am in Camp Maximus. I like to push myself and try and get those 300 stitches for each prompt, and there are of course 6 each week. So that can be a little bit of a tall order sometimes, but we'll see how we go. We'll see how we go. And then as far as stitching itself goes, I would like to get Some more progress on Bookstar Magic because that one's just so much fun and she's calling to me like nobody's business. Scary Sampler, I feel like she got a little bit neglected with October being so busy, so I would like to get some more done on her. Maybe just the bricks on the house, just get it in, get it done. I would like to work a little bit on Angel's Afghan, so I would like to put in a little more shading on the beaver before I put it away until next year. And I would like to get Study of Skulls completely caught up and ready to go before I come back to film again in 2 weeks' time. So those are my plans. I think they're attainable. I think that's okay for 2 weeks. We'll see how we go. But until next time, you guys stay safe, you be happy, and you craft something beautiful. I'll see you again real soon, crafty creators. Bye.